Go live?
Yeah, you got the
Oh,
new.
whoop, I gotta move the disclaimer up. Oh, hang on. So let's move that up. Come on. And we'll put that. There we go. All right. Back in the saddle. You might want to keep an eye on my muting because I'm going to have to hit it a lot today.
Okay.
I'll try and be mindful of it. God, everything does just look like shit. Boy, I just was reading this morning that one of the biggest concerns amongst those in the energy sector is that if Putin cuts off gas to Europe, we're going to $400 a barrel.
Well, I posted a chart somewhere. I forgot. It
I'm,
was a weekly or monthly chart or something like that. But that's where the median line is way up.
yeah, it's a little scary if you look at it because that would disrupt. Well, obviously we go up here. We're not as dependent on crude from outside sources, but in Europe it would just rupture Europe. I mean, they're playing with. Okay, God damn it! Is Bitcoin up 700 today? Good boy. Notice it was just starting to pop a little bit. That's good to hear. All right, all we needed, and we got a few strolling in. They're like, what? Didn't those Trade Devil guys used to do live streams every now and then? Yeah. Well, all right, Brian, John, appreciate you guys hanging with us. Yeah, we'll get rolling here. We're gonna get back on the horse here. We got sidetracked a little by. I don't know if I had COVID. I know Monte Crypto, he did have COVID. Mine was, if it wasn't COVID, it was pretty gnarly. And now Baby Whale's got it too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's feeling terrible. I just was chatting with him this morning. I was like, man, where you been? And he's like, oh my God, I'm so sick. I can't get out of bed. I was like, oh, good God, I can relate to that. Space Lord motherfucker, good man. How are you? I love the handles we get. CN Salazar, I seem to remember live streams. Yeah, me too. I tell you, it's not because I didn't. I literally couldn't. I couldn't stare at a chart for more than 5 minutes. I just was an absolute mess, and it was the last day. Fortunately, we didn't get sick while we were traveling. Well, my wife kind of did. You know, that's a long flight. So, but God, as soon as I hit the States, I started to feel like shit, and then it's just been all week trying to like, okay, I'm going to be good tomorrow. I'm going to be good tomorrow. And finally, I'm at least where I can speak and not have to take a nap in the middle of a sentence. All right, guys. So it looks like, we got Duke. Check you out. Up 125%. Good for you, man. All right. So Bitcoin is kind of surprising a little bit. So it looks like we've got all regs. You guys know the drill here, right? Some members give us the charts and we go through them and see if there's anything down here at these lows that looks interesting. Now, first up, what do I have here? We got, we got enough guys. Oh, shit. Okay, I got to remember what I'm doing here. Okay, so I got to get the disclaimer off. Okay, so there we are. Okay. All right, so first up, this is Crypto Mountains. With a nice message. Appreciate that. Okay, so lots of divergences happening as oscillators. Let's take a look down below. Divergence, divergence, divergence. I like the look of that. 3, 4, 5. Boy, look how pretty this is in the Elliott Wave Oscillator. Well, we're looking at it daily, but if you were looking at you can imagine 3, 4. So, exit 1, 2, 3, 4. We're kind of winding up here. We'd like to see that start to go. You'd like to see this. You want to see the RSI get over 50 if you can, right? You're always kind of. I mean, that's your indication. Okay, I've got the makings of a trend here. I mean, even here you can see it. Like this when we went here. I got that tiny one here, right? So when we get that push over 50, now do we sustain and get up over 70, 80? Oh, I better make that brighter. Oh, that's not going to show here. Let's go there. Make that a 2 so you guys can see them. Okay, right. So these. That's what you're looking for here, but we don't have it yet. Right? So we've got the inklings, right, of a little divergence here, all this, but you kind of want to see that get over 50. So really, how would you trade that? I mean, there's no question about where the trend is here, but what's interesting is what we've just hit here in terms of both the geometry as well as tapping that golden zone. Looks like we're going 66, right? So a lot of people like to use the 66, which, you know, I'm fine with. It looks like you got a little bit of a wick through that. So, right, so here's your 66. You know, it's not a bad thought to use it. It's a true fib number as opposed to the 65. We see the 65 nail it. So you're even through here. That's all wick. So what do you have here? Right? This hard to see this as anything but a 3. Now, okay, could you finish there? Well, yeah, it's, you know, for an Elliottician, that's going to be a tough finish. Oh, maybe we could do this once. No, I don't think we could. So ideally, you'd want one more, right? So if it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, we'd have a contracting triangle. That's what you'd be counting on there from an Elliott perspective. Extension in the 1, the 3 is shorter, so the 5 would have to be shorter. So, you know, that's not a bad scenario because then you get very clear guidelines as to where you're wrong, where you're right. So you could really do it this way. You could just say, all right, well, if this is going to be some sort of contracting diag, oh shit, yeah, we'd have to be a diag. Did we overlap? Yeah, we did. So if you did it here, well, here's where if you're coming down here, well, if we start to head down here, well, then we can't have it here because then the 5th would be longer than the 3rd. But anything down here, excuse me. Mute button's going to be my friend today. Anything down here looks kind of interesting. So what do we got? I channel this up like that. You should really, what you'd like to see is one more, maybe a break of this channel, right? There's I don't mention this a lot, but I probably should because we've been kind of featuring this in some of the day trading. You know, do you guys familiar with the price action, Al Brooks trend line price action rule, right? So that if you break a trend line like this, the odds are very, very high that if we break the trend line, there'll be one more push down. That's kind of the trend line rule for price action traders. Now we're kind of combining a lot of techniques here, but we can just use this as that trend line. So if we pop up here and we get that break and it's not a runaway to a new trend, okay, we'd have change of character here, break of structure here. Now we do something like this, okay, now you're probably too far to where you'd be looking for this. But as it sits right now, sitting in this channel, let's fatten that up a bit, right? I mean, that's a reasonable way to look at it. Okay, clear trend line. If I break it, the anticipation is the market will want to push one more time down. So that would play, okay, there's the 4, and now we're coming down for the 5, maybe something like that. So then you'd have a pattern that you'd say, okay, this makes sense. Okay, here's the trend line break, the final push to get that last extreme. I can count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, again, assuming we don't go too far here. Now, right, does that mean start buying? No. Right? You got to have signs of strength. At least you'd want to have the change of character. At least, right? So this would be, well, if you broke it here, change of character, break of structure, right? Because that would, here's what this, you'd have the, oh shit, what is your color here? Oh, I guess, is that the new high? So I guess we'd have it right here. So if we came back up, now you got to get through this. All right, now you're likely to hit your head here, right? Obvious, high volume here now. Right? Can you get through now? Okay, now I got to start. Now maybe I got a 3 going. 1, 2, 3. So where's the trade? Would be down here, right? You'd be looking for somewhere, some sort of an order block or some. It could be. You guys know the drill, right? Something like this. We come into a golden zone potentially. We're looking for an order block, right? Obviously, I don't have one here, but that's the way I would approach trading that, knowing, okay, I hit it the first time. Well, here's my resistance. There's the kickback. Now, if I don't get a new low, well, here's my low risk, right? When you're bottom fishing, right? We don't ever want to try and pick the turn, right? There's just no reason to do it. Yeah, it looks great on Twitter, right? Look, I've nailed the turn, but the risk is too high, right? Why try and make the turn, right? You guys have heard me say this many, many times, right? Buyers at lows create new lows. Why? Because where are you putting your stop? Right here, right? So the market, if they can get there, right, they know there are going to be stops there, and then it drives it down, right? Which is why here, you know, I wouldn't give it that much room, right? 786, right? If you're super bullish, maybe 887, but you don't. If it gets too close to this, the odds are they're going to get it because there's liquidity there. Market is constantly seeking liquidity, right? There's liquidity there, they're going to get it. Now, if they can't get it, that's what there you got the short covering. All of that leans into it. So here's the, here's just the standard flip. You know, a price action trader would call it a flip. Here's change of character, right? Break of structure, back retest, off you go. Now then we can label it and say, okay, I got a pretty decent chance that that's a 3, 4, 5. Okay, now I got something to work with. Until then, it's just lower low, lower high, lower low, right? Something has to change. I got to get a higher low. Pardon me, I got to get a higher high to give me the change of character. Then I got to get a higher low to give me the traction here. Shorts have to cover. Breakout traders participate. Same as it ever was. So looking here, yeah, this is interesting down here, and yeah, wick only. I'd still be looking here, but you know, there's not a great count here to really work with. You probably actually you got a couple of here. Let's just do it as a trend line. You got that there as well. So you need that trend line break. All right, one more push down. Try and get into a 1, 2, 3. But here's where you want to trade because my risk is so small. All right, if you're going to try and take that, well, you got to use that. What you just don't ever want to do is say, okay, I'm going to put the stop way down here and give it plenty of room. That's probably the most common error people make, right? Oh, I need to give it a little more room, a little more room, a little more room, and your account is blown up. Right? Common, right? We've all done it. We've all experimented. Well, maybe if I just give it a little more room, that'll be the smarter thing to do. Never has that been a good idea because even if you get away with it, you reinforce the bad habit, and then you're just doing it over and over again, and one of these times you're going to get absolutely crushed. So, right, money management, especially in a down market like this, where what you want to do is you want to try and get into something long, right? We've been down so far. My God, come on, sooner or later it's going to turn, right? But that's the thinking that gets you in trouble. Well, it's better down here with all of this, but that's still, it's not enough to say, you know, let me get long and strong here. Oh. Crypto Mountains, I think that we've probably given that a good look, right? It's really tempting. You don't need to get that turn. This is what you want. Get that money wave. All right, let's see. We got a decent number here. So let me go to Eric Esk. Oh my God, this is the trade. He's been in this for so long. Eric, God, let's hope it looks better. He's tracking EOS. I think he's got a pretty good position in this. Yeah. He and I have been sharing charts on this. Did that sound like sharing charts? Sharing charts on this for some time. You can tell I'm a little sick still. Sharing charts. Okay, let's get out. Where are we now? Okay, let's pull out, see what we've got here. So one giant ABC. ABCA. That'll work. Whoa, that looks like it's close enough. 887. We didn't quite get 887 there. Oh, where are you? Platinum. Oh God, I've been away for a while. Okay, so here's 887.90. You know, it's kind of a judgment call. Do you want to let this go as a flat? That's pretty close. I would if I got a good finish down here as a 2. Well, it's going to be a train wreck out of log, so we got to stay in log. Well, let's zoom in there a little bit. Okay, kind of the same thing, right? It's just pretty wicked downtrend here. So do we have any inkling? Well, not really. All right, so here's the last thing, right? Much like Bitcoin right now. Looks like we need 1, 2. Well, he's kind of laid it out here, right? That's looks like what he's looking for. Maybe a little more than that 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to come down for the 2. Okay, all right, let's channel it. All right, if we get something like this, right, you're going to need same thing, right? The ingredients have to be there, right? Because it's just too easy for the market to just continue, right? That's the path of least resistance. So why try and fight that? Here you had a chance, right? I mean, if these go, if you can get this one, it's not like it's 3, I can't take it, because if that goes here, then you've got the ingredients for it. But right now, as that looks, I mean, what do you see here? It's just a little consolidation. We know trading ranges almost always fail, right? So here's the failure on the breakout low. Here's the failure on the breakout high. So when the market's going sideways like that, you don't, I mean, the trades you don't want is you don't want to get long here. If anything, you want to get long down here on the idea, oh, maybe it's an ABC, maybe it's a 1, 2, 3. Where's the worst place to enter the market, which is where retail is going to enter? Where are they going to enter? Right there. Right? How'd that work out for them? Right? And how much more to go, right? Do you want to sell it down here? Where's the worst place to sell it? Right here. Where's retail going to sell it? Right here. Where'd they sell it last time? Right here. It's not hard to track what retail's doing. Okay, 1, 2, 3. That looks like a good impulse here. 4 is kind of beefy compared to the 2, but really, what do you see there, right? It's just consolidation, balance, imbalance, balance, imbalance. Can we get a clean count here? Well, that's good. That's good work there. You're stuck with it, right? Looks like it's an impulse, actually. Yeah, so we get 1, 2. Excuse me. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that'll work. It looks like that's, I'm going to guess he measured this because he's been trading this for so long. Okay, right in the pocket here, a little past the 175. That's good candidate for the 3. You don't know until you know, but 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you've got, that's pretty much as you've laid it out here. Good detail in here, Eric. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're kind of stuck with that. So 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. That looks good. Let's check it. So 2 through the, pardon me, there's your 5 here. Get rid of this. And you kind of, you'd like that to hold as the C and not go further, because it's going to get a little more confusing. Let's see if we can tighten that up. This gets kind of that same idea, right? The price action trend line rule. So here's the break. So that lays out rather nicely for the implication that, okay, if we're going to come down, right, here's the break of the trend line, one more extension to get the low. Looks like a lot of wick down here. Come on down here again. I wouldn't buy it. Why, right? It's going straight down. What's the path of least resistance? What's the target, right? If this thing starts to come down, what are they trying to get to, right? That. They'll get this. That's what they're going to go after, right? Where all the stops, right there, right? So it's only if they can't get them, you got to build a case, right? Okay. Now they couldn't. So do you see how it builds? Like, okay, first, they'd be after the stops down here. If they can't get it here, okay, well, now what are they after next? Now they're after the stops here. If they can't get it here, all of a sudden it's like, hey. They couldn't get them here. They couldn't get this one. Now we start to get traction. Now what happens is shorts have to cover. So you get building blocks, right? Right now there's nothing here. You're just again in a big range. So here's maybe we can call this, and this would not really be a demand zone. Well, fuck, I guess we could do it that way. We could do it that way. Call this the 50%. You get down here, okay, you might nibble a little bit down here. Well, he's already long. I don't think I'd be adding to shorts, but this would be giving you some glimmer of like, oh, maybe we're going to dig out of the hole eventually, someday. EOS has been in a long downtrend. Okay, so then what are the hurdles, right? Well, we got to get past this consolidation. We got to get on the other side of the 233. We got to at least flip the trend, the momentum traders, start to get this thing. Now, is there enough in the crypto landscape to see, EOS start to trend bullish? I don't know that we're there yet, right? So this down here might be more likely. Well, at least you'd have a tag of that big fat median line, right? Which we know is going to be a magnet to the market. So, well, yeah, I might push the, oh shit, let's guess yours. I might push this down a little bit. I mean, that's where you want it, right? So we get the technical pop of the reaction of the median line, right? As algos are going to react there. That is one fat set of median lines. Oh, and then kind of the same thing. You probably you go through that same gyration down here. Let's just use the last down here as we're coming down here. That's your last stand, right? Before the entire thing just melts. I mean, there's nothing says it can't go down here. You just wouldn't be able to call it a 2, right? You'd have some other mess. It's ugly, right? EOS is, I mean, he stayed with it through all of this, right? So he's a believer. You know, last stands of accumulation down here. I don't know that EOS goes completely. Where's 0? We got a ways to go. Same thing, right? Until we break this, my God, right? Why try and do anything? I'd wait till we get a clean break. Now come back and retest and show me that the bulls are not going to let this to go. It's not just going to hit supply and do this, right? Show me that that's there, that there's support there. Tough one, man. I know you've been riding that for a long time, right? Not much there, which you would say, oh God, it's time to buy. Other than, right, if you're dollar cost averaging, well, if you liked it anywhere up here, you got to love it down here. All right, man. Okay, CN Salazar just had a first pass. Had meant to work on it, but alas. Okay, all right, so I appreciate you guys for giving us content. I wasn't so sure this morning, but you guys rallied. All right, so UPS. Well, this looks pretty good, actually. Okay, so there's a weekly. What do I get here? I'm going to hide that volume just a... Okay, what's not to like here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I can live with that. That's clearly a 3, so we get a little expanded. What's not to like here? Now, this is a weekly. I might be curious how that looks. We can go to original on that. We'll be coming in down here, prior 3, 4. That's a commonplace. Come down in here. Sure, I like that color. Let's go. Let's do it like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, right to the median line. Might be a triangle going in there. Let's go to the daily. All right. 1, 2, 3. Well, it's just it's always worth doing it, right? Just see, how does that 3 look? How did it play out? Right in the pocket, right? So, okay. Good candidate, A, B, C, right? Double top. I mean, it doesn't have to get a new high here. It could be A, B, C, D, E, right? So either way, something in here on the, look, tap. Standard ops, right? Same thing every time, right? That's the advantage. Oh, what do I have here? I have, let's do, okay, so 38 twice. If it was a triangle, right, you'd get, if it's A, B, C, D, E, you're going to get one more little pop up, right? Which would make the sell, right? We always want to sell as close to where we're wrong as possible. So if you're selling here off of the triangle idea, well, your risk gets reduced. I might give it I'd probably use the second one since they're so close. Right? You could get a little squirt up here, grab some liquidity and then bring it down. This is the little consolidation, right? Balance, imbalance, and a little chop. 1, 2, 3, 4, come down for the 5. Whoa, look at that. We drop right into an algo target, a 618. Let's see, length of the A projected from the B. Let's see what that looks like. If I go A from the B, he may already have that in here. Well, let's look at that. We'd be coming in around, you know, in this window down here. Pretty good spot for it. A little overthrow on the median lines. That's if you get that. Now you'd be thinking this 4, 5. So we'd get a nice channel we could play with right there. Right, Elliott Wave, right? We got to use the channeling where we can. So how do we get out of here? Well, we got to get up 1, 2. Let's first, right, what's the first requirement? Change a character, right? I need a higher high. No, there's no point to try and pick the turn here. Why? Do I have a higher high? No. Do I have a higher low? Maybe, but what's most probable here? Lower high, lower low. I got to get the higher high and then the higher high, right? So the first ingredient here is I got to first get a change of character. Otherwise, it's just lower lows, lower highs. Why are you trying to fight that, right? The trend is clearly, right? There's no question where the trend is. So let's at least start with the first ingredient. Okay, change of character. Oh, all of a sudden, I get a higher high. Now, do you want to take the risk on that on the first retrace? Okay, right here, well, the deeper the better, right? You'd almost like that to go golden zone or 786 because the distance to the stop is clear, right? If they can't get it, what happens? Right, shorts have to cover. Now I get break of structure. So then I get change of character, break of structure. Now, hey, maybe trend change. Right, but you got to put the building blocks together. You don't want to go, oh, it looks like it might be turning, because you'll 99% of the time be wrong. Right? That's the beauty of market structure. It's black and white, right? It's binary. Did we break structure or not? Do we have a change of character or not? It's not like, well, it feels like it wants to go higher. You know, not that there's a place for intuition, but okay, right? We're in a raging downtrend in virtually every asset class. Why do we want to try and pick lows? At least get the first part of it. All right, CN, I like this. Let's go back to the weekly and see how that would look. Well, we'd be looking for it a little bit lower, right? If this is the one, well, let's see. Here, I'm going to change that, because if this is the one ABC, we actually want to measure this distance. Well, we got to look at it both ways, right? So here's the Elliott look at it. All right, so we'd be coming, that actually plays pretty nicely right now. Note the distinction here. This is not a demand zone, right? Clear distinction. That is potentially support, right? Everybody clear on the difference there? I mean, this is possibly, maybe, could be support. Prior resistance becomes support, but it's not a demand zone. If anything, you're right in the middle of a big fair value gap, right? You can just see that, right? There, you had massive imbalance here, right? So between this close and this low and this high, you've got a big gap there, right? Where there's nothing to hold it. Now you'd have a little, right? Again, potential, just potential support, right? But not demand. Where's demand? Way the fuck down here. Well, we might be able to get one in there. Oh, maybe it. Yeah. I think you'd have to come all the way down here to have any decent chance at. Come here. I have to come way down here, right, to find a demand zone. This is, you're fudging a little there, right? And this is going to be weak. This, again, if you have to pick between support and demand, you'd pick demand. Always. Now, it's nice if it comes down here and it does it, right? Pops and you get a little reaction. Okay, well, what's happening there? Do we understand that? Yeah. I mean, in theory, the theory is that anyone who was long on the breakout here is going to defend here. And I don't mean you, me, and, Uncle Joe. It's that there'd be muscle there, right, to defend that. Muscle that was there on the breakout to push, right? I mean, here's a breakout that actually worked. That's what you're hoping for. That's muscle. It's not you, me, and Uncle Joe. It's, oh, well, it'll bounce there because Uncle Joe doesn't want to lose that long. So 5 down here, you got to wait, right? I'd want down at a smaller time frame, I'd want a clear 5 to show me, okay, right? Boom, that I'll take. Until then, trend is your friend. Good one, Cian. Good choice. Shit, I feel like I'm going too fast here. That's not like me. I'm usually going too slowly. What do I got here? I got James. James is giving us ETH. Okay. James, I owe you a call. I have not forgotten. I've just been so damn sick. Hang on. Oh, glad you guys don't hear that. Okay, so ETH, macro bottom left. Macro bottom left. Wait a minute, macro. I got 1 hour, 15 daily macro. All right, let's look bottom left. Oh, wait, fuck. I gotta copy it. All right, I don't want this. I want that to go away. Okay, so I'm going down here, bottom left. All right, macro me. Macro. 3, oh, that's pretty triangle. Okay. Oh, that's... Well, that's pretty creative. A, how's he doing it? Let's hear. So we're doing 1. We got 2 counts here. So we got a possible A, B. We do it here. A, B, C for a. Looks like that got shit canned. Okay, so we got it. We can take this one. Did it break? Maybe it didn't break. Hang on. Did we break? We did not. Okay. 1, 2. Seems least likely. W, X, Y. That actually looks better. Be my guess. I'm going to guess that he would agree with me. That WXY looks better. A, B, C. A, B, C. That's okay. So I like the geometry holding it. Looks like you got an order block down here. All right, you can work with. Okay, so they're tapping that, right? That may be what's going on there. Right into the Vegas wave. So let's hide that just for the look. Get a primary. W. I'm going to do this just because I'm stuck in my own color charts. Okay, WXY. So that would be. So what would we be doing there? So this would be the 3. Where's my 2? Well, that would be a fat 4 relative to that 2. You want it to be done, right? It plays nicely to be done here. 1, 2, 3, 4. But it doesn't look like it's ready for that. Well, you don't really what do you have here? You just have consolidation. You don't really have anything that looks like it's about to dump. And you don't really have a bottoming pattern here. This would be a rough, I mean, fuck, is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. I mean, his alternate 1, 2, you know, that's a little hopium, right? I mean, we all do it, right? So how could this be bullish, right? So you're looking for, could this be 1, 2? Yeah. Looks like you get an impulse here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got a good C here. It looks like you got one here. So this is just a zigzag. Yeah, there's no way around it, right? So you're stuck here. This was your disappointment. Well, so what's the other way to look at that? Oh, how we do it this way. All right, so here's all this action. Well, you can probably go down here as well. We're just kind of stuck in a range. So do you want to be a buyer here? Well, you can make a case that this is a place to be accumulating. Okay, down here we're going to accumulate. Allowing for, okay, could go lower, right? Because if this is a 3, your expectation is we're going to do something corrective here, not impulsive. Now, you know, shit changes, but it sure looks like this is just more consolidation. So maybe even pull it down here and say, okay, if I'm down here, at least I'm in the discount. I'm in the discount range. Okay, so if I want to do a little accumulation here, I mean, my wife, who doesn't, you know, I just tell her, well, if you're going to buy a little ETH, it's not a bad place to do it, right? Just to be dollar cost averaging. She loves buying crypto. That little Coinbase wallet, I hear that thing going off all the time. So it's the same idea. Okay, do you need to pick the low here? No. If it goes a little bit lower, would you buy some more? I would. Right? If we come down here and do this, okay, we're buying in the 6, 7, 800 because what's the long term prognosis, right? Where are we going long term? All right, are we going? So we'd have to get in log scale here and look at it. Okay, I would stick to a 1-2, so even if you just get the whole thing, would you be buying at 3, 4 here on the way down? I'd be buying here. I mean, this is what I'd see. If it comes down here, oh, I'm buying. I'm willing to start here, go here. This looks probable, right? We'd come down here. Now, same thing, you got this really harsh channel in place. So I'd be looking for those opportunities. All right, so do we have a break yet? No, we don't. Let's tighten that up. Tight, tight, tight. Let's get you over here. Little break. I mean, that's enough to suggest that there's likely one more push down. I don't think PA will get above. I agree with you, but above the Vegas wave, definitely not. Although I think that was on his 3 hour. So let's look here. I mean, of course, the other thought is just do nothing, right? It's too unclear. So you could just say, all right, I'm range bound here. I don't have any sense of trend other than the dominant trend, which is lower. I can't get a new high here, but I don't have a new low either. So I'm just going to watch and look for one extreme or the other. What happens up here? Do we just roll over again? Well, then you'd almost prefer it, because then you'd say, okay, I know where I am. Right? Likely, I mean, this sure looks like a 4, right? So if it does that and we don't, shit, if you're long, right? Of course, you're in the back of your mind, like, oh, go, go, go. But if it does that, then we don't hold it and we roll back over. That's kind of what you'd want, saying, okay, now I know where we are. Okay, now we can start to build. Okay, change a character. Okay, break a structure, right? Do we come back down, get it? Right, now you get something started. I wouldn't be in a hurry, right? Given the recognition of where we are and where we could go. God, can you 400 ETH? Wouldn't be shocking. I don't see anything else here to add here. Let's see. Lower time frame, macro bottom left, low time frame, top right. Let's just take a quick look over here, top right. See what he's thinking. He is a channel master, so I know he knows this rule. So there's the little break. Didn't get it. What do we got here? 15 minute? Well, so it's not that. ABC. This looks like it's already come and gone. 5. Either the impulse down is complete, or is one more left to go. That's what I'd be inclined to think. So just out of curiosity, did we get the 50 here? Yeah, we did. So there's 50 coming up to, so there's your measured move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, what else do you do with that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a shitty finish. Maybe, right? So but this has got to keep going, right? So you'd have to be, you could probably recount this and finish it down here. You could probably do that. But this is going to need to go, how far does that have to go before you're thinking 3 up here? 1, 2, 3, right? So at least I'd get the 1, 6, 1, 8 or in that vicinity. Now, that's a big lift. Big lift, right, considering where we are. Now, it doesn't have to do it in a straight line. if this is 1, 2, okay, you can kind of see possibly. Fuck me, come here. 1, 2, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Could we get a 3 into the golden zone? 4, 5. Extension in the 1. Maybe. All right, that's a pretty good rip in the 1. Got to at least get here. At least 4, 5. Maybe we get that. You can see what's. You got an order block sitting right here. Oh, probably just use that range right there. So just using the last little upswing here before we went down. So there's the test. This might be wishful thinking, but hey, let it play. I don't know that I would be buying it right there. I mean, you'd want to see at least clear the order block there, at least clear it. Then if I was going to be a buyer, I'd be doing it this way. I'd say, okay, show me, prove to me you're a 3 on the back side of it. So then it's a breaker block, right? Broken order block, and we get a 5 up here. Okay, now we're game on. Right? Is that what we're envisioning here? It's hopium. Not misguided, but just okay. If you can't buy it here, you had to buy it here, right? I don't think so. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Uh-oh. I'm not muted. I'm not. All right, I guess that's, I think James would probably agree with me. This would not be the place to buy it. But if we push through here and we get a retrace back to test it from above, then, okay, maybe, right? We got a little start on something. Now, this is the 15-minute, right? So, you know, keep that perspective in mind. Here's the hourly. Oh, just for fun. Let's see here. Oh, let's put the SMC on there. Let's see what that comes up with. Give it a minute here. All right. All right, on the hourly. So here's the range that we're in. So we can just, this is what makes this nice. Okay, so here's the range we're in. We don't have a really, just kind of highlighting that. Okay, so here's, now we just add a little price action. Okay, so here's the channel that just broke, right? Would imply that there will be at some point here, if we come up here, we hit this order block, that there's going to be one more push at that low. Now, this is the stronger high, so the trend is down. This is the swing low. We've had break of structure, change of character. All this suggests, right? And what do we know? Right, market likes to move in threes. 1, 2, 3. That's what you would think. But again, it's really hard not to just say we're just going sideways, right? So why force a trade here? If you're doing it, then okay, maybe you're down at that 15-minute and you're working shorter term stuff. But for longer term, there's nothing really here to latch onto. What's the trend in here? Sideways. Right. Smack dab in the middle. What's the trend, right? So the only thing you could do is say, oh, I get in the discount. I'd be a buyer down here looking to get into the premium. I'd be a seller up here. Not much else to do. Hang tight. Patience, right? This patience is, traders hate that word, right? We don't want to be patient. We want to trade right now. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. James has got a Bitcoin look here. Okay. All right, guys, so get there. Okay, so Bitcoin, he's given me bottom left high time frame. Bottom left high time frame. Oh, fuck, I forget every time. Copy. Bottom left high time frame. Out of here. What are you thinking? ABC. Oh, I like that. Let's keep it simple. And we can. It's a nice wedge, right? So we got break here. Tight little range there. Well, this is not. I mean, that sure looks like the path of least resistance. Right now, we don't have the break yet. What we got here? This is a 12-hour. It's hard not to look. Okay, we got a nice 3. We didn't get the legs we were looking for here. I think anything else is just it's just not there, right? But you could almost do the same thing here. Right? Say, okay, well, from here to here, what are we doing? All right, we're just going sideways. Right, you want to sell the top of it, buy the low of it, right? Trading ranges most of the time fail, right? So why would you assume that? 1, 2, 3. So this has got a good 3 on it. It's likely to be the same as ETH, right? The 2 to the potential. Oh, that's not terrible. This 2 to this 4. Well, once again, you really would. Okay, right? I know. Listen, I'm long, plenty long, right? So do I want prices going down? No, but at least I know where I am if I come down here. Okay, I completed. I'd put another channel in there too. I'd get this little tighter. Just so I'm looking for, okay, if I get a break, right? Does that mean I've got to have one more down here to finish it off? But that looks, oh, I like what you got here. So you're looking to be a buyer in here, 8,000, is that right? Wow, that's mighty stiff, right? Okay, let's pull back out here. Let's go out to a daily. Oh, because we're not in log, that's why. That's why I thought 8,000 was a little much. Okay, so we'd be coming back into all of this range here, but still, right, we coming down that low. 13, again, here's a great example. That's potential support, not demand. It's a big difference. Don't confuse the two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hard to argue with that, right? If it was any other asset and you just brought it up and you laid out the wave count, why would you assume anything other than that? It's Bitcoin, so it's harder to be, well, is it harder to be objective? So you're trying to finish it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not terrible. Does not look bad. The 4 and the 2 they're not perfect, but I don't know that I'd be betting against that given the climate we're in. So if you're dollar cost averaging, as I am, choose your spots. Whew, that is ugly. All right, thanks for that one, James. The bull in me wants top left. Well, it's just before I leave here, you got top left. Top left. I know that's the same. It's the same as ETH, right? Could we go ABC here? You know, it's really, right? Until we break out of consolidation here. That looks like 1, 2, 3. All right. Hate to be a buzzkill. All right, GRT. Oh, God. I haven't looked at this in a while. I just let this one ride. GRT top left. I got a copy. Hang on one sec. All right, kind of the same thing, right? Is there any signs of any sort of a low going in? That sure doesn't look like it. All right, looks like we're, well, okay, working on an ending diag to finish the 3. So he's got it. From the C here, we'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing, right? Doesn't look bad at all. Right, so this is nice work here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more down here. Get the 3 done. Here, this has got to be your 3, 4. So this all plays really, really nicely. I'm trying to bring that in. Need that. Phew, I wish it looked better. I wish I had nothing but good news. But there's nothing that really looks like, okay, we got a low in. It's just, I mean, look at it. Lower low, lower high. Lower low, lower high. Lower low, lower high. Lower low. Until that changes, you don't want to fight that. You don't want to try and pick that turn. At least, right? Start, right? Just as we said. First, change a character, then break a structure, then a retest. Until that happens, it's just try and be strategic. If you're looking for entry, try and be strategic about where you're doing that, right? So 3, if we get a little counter here, well, that would imply there's one more to come. Right? Might be, you look down here, 0.03. If it's going to survive, which I'd be shocked if it didn't. You got to look and say, okay, can I park some money there for 2-3 years? Could I? Right? Would it be worth it? Well, if it survives, it sure would be. Oh, Diamond Lee, you got me. Okay, good. So I'm assuming this is the same one you shared with me. Okay. We temporarily lost our crypto processor, and Diamond Lee, he and I ran into that this morning. We're going to find a solution for it, but the processor we were using won't work with any U.S.-based companies anymore. The nerve of them. All right, Diamond Lee, what do we got here? So we got, I'm getting a Bitcoin perpetual. Okay, so I got, okay, cool. So you're giving me some market structure and some, nice. Okay, so let's pull this off. Low momentum on the sell side, right? So how does he know that's low momentum, right? Where's the liquidity down here? If they can't get it, where are they going, right? So we got order blocks. We got so here's the imbalance, right? See how he's identifying the imbalance here, where we move so quickly, right? You'd come back to it, and potentially you'd anticipate there'd be some unfilled orders, but we don't get you don't get this. All right, whoa, what happened? Right, they're back up, tested again. Maybe there's another push up here. So let's see, we could do 2 things here with channeling. All right, so we got a pretty nice channel here that got a good break. Here's a good example of it. Right, so here's the trend line break. Here's the push to new extreme low. Right, now we get the same thing coming back the other way. All right, it's a simple rule, but it's worth paying attention to it. And that looks like that's an algo play. All right, 50 to the tick. Where's the target, right? So look, we're going to run into a 50 and that. Now, do we more legs up here to get into this order block up here? Here's liquidity, right? So it's nice work. Nice work, Diamond Lee, right? You've been studying. Okay, so we've got some liquidity up here, so that's a natural target, right? The market may want to go up there and grab that. So you could see how it comes up here, gets target, grabs liquidity up here because there'll be stops sitting there. Grabs it. Right now, is there more to go? Right, hard to see. You got to just kind of watch it. What we got? That was a 1 hour into something like that. What's the advantage here, right? We always want to try and sell if we can. This is what's nice about market structure. We want to sell as close to where we're wrong as possible. So if I'm going to sell it up here, right? I've got a very, very low risk move, right? If it keeps going, okay, well, man, major trend change. This is the swing high. This is the strong low, right? Since this is all wick down here. So it looks like we did get a low here. Interesting. All right, so it's nothing. I kind of want to see one of the trend line break here, right? So if we're going to go up here, I don't know, you might do it. You might get really, really skinny. Come here. Say, okay, if we're going up this tight, oh shit, we're going up that tight. I'm not in the log scale, am I? Oh. If we're going up that tight, maybe a little break, and then one more push up. Right, you got a couple of supply zones up here. I prefer that to order block, and you'd be right at the golden zone. So that's kind of the price action market structure. Or is there any question about where the trend has been? Well, it's been down. Now here's a major break of structure here. All right. Imbalance on the daily. All right, so he's marking. Oh, that's good. All right, so he's marking where the imbalance is on daily, and we've got 2 of them marked here. So any of this up here is potential fertile selling ground, right? It's where. How do we know there's been a trend change when we break that high? Right, there's a big order block in there as well. Right, we get on the other side of that. Okay, well, now something else is happening. Low momentum on sell side. Looks like we need to take more liquidity, i.e. we're pushing higher to move down. So need to take stops and need to fill imbalances, right? So up we go. I'd be looking for shorts up here. Where's the risk reward going to be most friendly? Right up here. What would the target be? Minimum. Well, you could use the harder low here. Let's see something. Yeah, that's right. I'd be using these lows down here. So what do you get there? 6 to 1. And you could probably refine that a little bit down on going down to a 15 or a 5, looking for a tighter entry there. Bring these across. You got lots of supply up here. 2, 3, and just for confluence, I'd probably want to see how this looked. Look, come right into the 100. Right, so you'd have a perfect measured move. Here's your sell. There's your stop. Now you're looking for new lows here. 8 to 1. It's not bad. And it's same thing, right? I'd get this up here so I know, right? Do I get a trend? Do I get a break? So for example, if it did this, it went up and then did this, I'd be more bullish, right? Break suggests one more push up. It takes practice, right, to get used to this approach, right? But often, so for example, if you looked at this, there's not a clear Elliott count on this, right? Really, I mean, you could almost say it's just a giant trade. The whole thing's just a big trading range, right? Big trading range. Right, one little push up here, nothing on the low. So what's the Elliott count? Can we get an Elliott count on it? Yeah, we can. Is it really helping? I'm not so sure it is. Right, so that doesn't mean no trade, just means, okay, how else can we look and address the market? What are we doing, right? We're going sideways for the most part, right out here on a 60. Okay, so which is exactly what he's doing. He's saying, okay, where's the liquidity? Nice, nice, nice. Where are the order blocks, right? Where's supply? Where's demand? What's the momentum look like? As he's noting here, where is it? Where are the imbalances? Where do we move so fast that likely we've got to come back and revisit? So this is really good work, Diamond Lee, very good, right? And you get this a nice addition, right? You know, if you guys know that we've partnered with Sonar Labs, this nice indicator, right? Because you can do these lines yourself. It's a lot easier to have a piece of software keep track of it. If that interests you, all right, you can use our link. You get a little discounts underneath the video in our link tree. I think they still have like a pretty good lengthy trial. I can't remember if it's 7 days or 14 days. They've got a good trial. Let's check it out. See if you like it. Do a little research on SMC. We've got certainly plenty in our playlists. All right, let me keep moving. Thanks for that one, Diamond Lee. I got Grant F with Lockheed Martin. All right, Lockheed Martin. The war drums are beating. So what's Lockheed doing? They're selling a lot of weapons. Gotta love Grant F, right? Always a clear trading plan. Right? Deep crab was bring us in right at a golden zone. Same idea here. This is potential support, not a demand zone. Well, you probably have one just underneath though. Probably got one right there. So you got a little room there. I'd start here, right? It's if you take the first one, so you got to decide how much you want to put into it. But if you came down and you got stopped out here by just on the other side of the 65, if you got a reaction here and you came back again, you get the break of structure there. You might have to go again, right? If you're tight on that stop, you could do this with options. Give yourself a little bit more wiggle room. but you can't overstay with the option, right? Time decay works against you every day. So we'd have a W, X, Y, X, A, B, C to bring us down into this. I'd kind of fatten it that way. So the other choice is maybe do this. Give it a little more room and reduce the size. Right? So it has to be a direct one-to-one trade-off. If I'm giving it that much more room, then I've got to reduce the size that much more. So if I give it that much room, okay. Right? If you've cut your size by a third or half to accommodate that extra risk tolerance, are you going to be sad about it up here? Are you sorry? God, I wish I had really gone all in here. I mean, you still got 6 to 1, almost 10 to 1, and 11 to 1. Are you sad that you went a little bit smaller? Well, because of course you can always add on the way. No one says, "Oh shit, I got that amount. I can't ever add." Add. Not likely to go here in a straight line. So if this is 1, we got to get a 1. We got to get a 2, 3, 4. All right, got to get all that. But this is nice TA down here. Nice confluence, right? So it's what Grant is, you guys know. It's very, very consistent. Everything looks the same, right? That's the power of it. All right, Lockheed, that looks interesting. I guess you'd probably have one last little channel here. It's a pretty fat one. All right, SPX. Let's see what the SPX with Sage 32. Hey, Sage 32. All right, we're almost done here, guys. Just have one more, so let me copy that. See what we're thinking on the S&P. I got a very bearish count on it myself. All right, let me pull back here. Let's go to a 4 so I can get your context here. So WX. Okay, A, B, C, W. Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, so we're going to go W. W, X, Y. So it's W, X, Y. There's another X here. Okay, so I can see it. Okay, so W, X, Y, X. A, B, C. Boy, it's pretty fancy footwork in here. Let me just push that off for a second. Pretty creative, I gotta admit. I have it slightly differently, but there's a lot of expanded legs here. Boy, the channeling's good. Here's a good example of the channeling that I'm talking about here. We got this. Here's the break, right? And then comes new lows. Something to just watch for. Same thing, right? Here's the channel. Right in here. Break now. Right? Does that imply we need to go to new lows? Well, it does. Okay, so this would be, if this is WXY, we need another A. WX B, A, B needs a full, let's just push that off to the side here. Needs a full A, B, need a full impulse here to come down and finish that to give you the Z. Boy, that's quite a monster, isn't it? Well, you could probably simplify this. Right? So this is very good work. Right? So there's a lot of complexity here that my thought would be, can I simplify this? Because this is a very complex correction, very right as labeled. And it's not that it's not correct. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if I look at this and go, holy fuck, can I simplify this? I would be a bit more inclined to think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh shit, here, all right, but that, you get my drift here. Let's try that again. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So 1, 2, 3, now it's obviously diag, right? We'd be coming in for a 5. Right, looks to me like we're working on the first, let's pull this down here, A. That would be just something, an alternate, right? Sage, I would just, your work here is really good, but whenever I got, that much, it's a triple with a lot of expanded B's and expanded Y's, and it seems like, God damn, can I simplify this, right? Does it need to be that complicated? Maybe it does. Maybe it, right? And if that helps you pull the trigger when you get to that point. But I'd be trying to say, okay, is this just an A, B, C that's going on here, right? That's what I'd be leaning into. How could I simplify this without being, disrespectful to rules and guidelines, right? I mean, can you pull that off as a diag? Well, you'd have to watch for length here, right? If this is the 1 and that's the 2, okay, we're just long enough here. So okay, for some sort of a leading diag here to come out of this. Oh, maybe we're down here trying to finish the A, B. I don't mean in any way to be critical of your work. Your work is excellent. It's just I would be looking to simplify if I could. Right? Is there a way to just take so much complexity out, right? So that's great exercise. And can you do it? Can I do it through WXYXZ? So many truncations, right? So expanded B, here you got it multiple times. Here we're going to go A, we're going to truncate the B here. It's just when I see so many abnormal, I would just keep, so here's what I would do, Sage. I would keep this count, and then I'd have one, right, strip it completely bare and say just dominant swings. What's the simplest thing I can see? And then I'd just go back and forth between the two and say, which one am I able to read the market with a little bit more easily? 1, 2, Jesus, this is really good detail. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even that already looks a little wonky, right? So, okay, could it be? Yeah, it could be. 4, 5, right? Could it be that? Yeah, it could be. It feels like it's a little forced, like you're trying too hard. Like sometimes the Elliott is you've heard me say. Hopefully you guys recognize. Sometimes the Elliott, it just makes it worse, not better. And when that's the case, just go to straight price action. Okay, where's the last dominant swing? That would be my suggestion. Just because this is a lot. So what's the next thing you're looking for? If this is 1, 2, 1, 2, your next trade is right here. Now, I'm not saying don't take that trade. I'm just saying, okay, here, let's get it all labeled in here. Okay. Could we use the trend line rule there for a little help? Okay, well, if I break here, right, that implies I'm going to push down to take out this low. Right, the market likes to do that, right? So if I can stay out of trouble here and not get stopped out here, right? Your stop can't be here, right? It's got to be. Oh, shit, that's me fucking you up here, right? Something like that. Okay, well, if you get this thing to free fall, shit, right? Who cares what the labeling, right? You swing internal retracement. It's technical. You'd be at an area of consolidation. Okay, if they can't do this, what's likely to follow, right? Where's the next target for stops, right? Right here. All right, if they can't get this one or this one, where are they going to go, right? Market is always moving to liquidity. Where's the liquidity going to be? Right there. I'd be mindful of this as well, right? Is this demand? No. Right? It was just an area the market struggled with. Oh. Order block down here, probably. Well, we probably use that one. One more down here. You're looking for big moves down here. If you get this, that might be a little over ambitious right there. 1, 2. What do you get there? It's 9 to 1. This is a 60-minute. You could use weekly options there. A lot of choices for you there. It's great detail, Sage. Great. For me, that I get lost in the complexity of it. And I got CN Salazar. We'll finish up here. Giving me another one. CPER. Shit, I don't know this one. How are we doing on time? Oh, shit, we're gonna be early. I've been, when I got the crew is members a little out of practice. Although there is very few charts that look particularly good right now. Okay, this is nice work. All right, so and I guess you got your price action as well. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, monster rip in the 5, right? So already that's a little suspect. Not your count, just is that it, right? Is that what we got? Okay, you're giving me a weekly. That's maybe why. And we're in log scale. Okay, so what the fuck is this? The copper index. Okay. Okay, well, a few things that are pretty easy to spot. We know where support is. Now here you actually you can do it that way. All right, so here's the last demand, right? That broke. Here's the last pivot that broke character structure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks better than that fucker. But geez, could that get any closer to being invalidated? Oh, wait a second. I think it did actually. See, I think we can't use that. I think we lost that one. Okay, so we got to go right here. Yeah, we got to break here. Okay, so this can't be the 1, 2. All right, he did note that it was, he hadn't had his morning coffee yet. He was just doing this because we needed charts this morning, so thanks for that. Okay, so we got to restart the count here. We can't go 1, 2 because of that break. So this just becomes part of the correction that brings us down. Just out of curiosity, is that looks kind of technical? Oh. All right. Nothing has changed since I was gone. Still the dominant algo in the market. Okay, so we got that one. Did not get to target, right? Just because it pivots there, although it looks like you got another one here. It looks like it's a series. It is, right? 1, 2, second target, right? So we got that. Algos get paid. Jesus, is there really even something there other than just straight up? Oof. Well, it gets a little cleaner up here. I'd be inclined to do that myself. Call that my 3, 4. There's no 2 though. I see your point, right? So what are you gonna do? Maybe something like this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I can get this impulse here, which looks to be pretty solid. One, two, three. It's almost the same thing. Like, is it 1, 2, 3, 4? And again, I got to have a massive extension in the 5th. It's a little abnormal. But how else are you going to count that? You're kind of stuck with it. I mean, maybe this is a cleaner count here, just in terms of wave relationships. Okay, you get it. You know, most of the time the market is not trending, so nothing happening there. Just well, there's classic Wyckoff, right? Distribution. We can't push higher. Oh, you know, retail took a swing at it right there. How'd that work out? Right, most ranges fail, right? Keep that in mind. And looks like, okay, so if you wanted to sell it, where was the place to sell it? Right here, right? You're in the middle of the range, right? So, I mean, I mean, ideally, right, that you're going to sell it up here, but that's hindsight, right? No, you know, that's unless you're fading the breakout, which is not a bad way to go. But the better sale was, oh, okay, what happened here, right? Because if they can't go get those, right, what happens? What happens here? Well, first we got to bend retail over, right? Because they got to get taught that lesson. You never here. Now I got to retrace. Never here. Right? I can say it till I'm blue in the face, right? People still do it. Never here. It's not that won't. I'm not saying that won't break. I'm just saying that's not where you enter. You got to wait for a retrace, and if you don't get it, then you got to let it go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so if that were the case, does that work? Is W, X, or A, B, C? Well, that's how we'd have to do it, A, B, C. Go down to micro. We'd have to do it as a flat. 3, 3, 5. You're right back to... That's such a free fall, though. Even coming down here, so you're not terribly liquid here, so you're gonna have to look at the daily. Well, okay, right, this is the definition of trying to catch a falling knife. So why? There's no reason to do it. At least, right? Maybe you come back up to a little consolidation, right? But this is all imbalance, right? This is just imbalance, right? There's no buyers. Or not enough buyers, right, to keep that thing. So, okay, why do we stop here? Well, could it be that its prior resistance is becoming support? Could be. Is there an order block in there? Oh, let's see. Yep, there is, right? Here it is right here. Didn't quite get there. And that's a pretty skinny order block. Any question about where the trend is? Here, I'll take mine off there. All right, so here's the order block, but we got another one down here. And a lot of times the market will like to do that because the first one, oh shit, you got 3 here, it could tease. So where if you wanted to be dollar cost averaging, let's see if I can get my tongue around that. A pretty reasonable spot to do it. If I talk about just a free fall. Imbalance, balance, imbalance, right? I mean, all of this is, so where is their longer term balance? I'd want to see something very solid come out of that and confirm that I didn't get a new low, because why would you think anything other than a new low here? Why? Well, there would have to be some really good evidence that something else was going on. I mean, even if you're trying to be like, oh my God, how do I build a bullish case out of that? Well, here's the last little pause. So if you, oh fuck, here, where are you? Let's do that. Right, here's all the distribution. Here's the tiny little, you're gonna cling to that. Well, if you were clinging to that for support, you got faced pretty hard. Where it falls right back to balance. Tough one, man. The markets are tough right now. There's no question about it. No question about it. So you got to think longer term. You got to, for Elliott, I would say 4 hours and above. I'd keep it on the 4 hours and above. And if you're looking for trades, I'd work with the market structure here where you can get some of this. So look, if this retraces or you start to come back up here, you don't want to do anything here. This is where you want to sell that. Why? Where are you wrong? Right, you want to sell that, right? Where's the target? Back down here. It's what makes this hard, because the market's screaming higher, right? That's why that's hard. What are we always looking for? We want to sell as close to where we're wrong as we possibly can. So that's why you don't want to just randomly pick something. Oh, I'm going to try and sell it here. You sell it up here, so I can take very little risk here. And if I'm not going to get most of them, but how many? That's 10 to 1. I don't need many of them. I can take this again, my analogy I like. That's a jab, right? If I get that, I hit it out of the park. Well, I'm mixing metaphors here, right? But this is a jab, right? That's a knockout blow to a long, right? If you don't, right? And why? So if it came down this fast, right? There's nothing for resistance until I get up here. So if it starts to climb, there's nothing to resist, because this is imbalance, right? Just like this was imbalance, it came down just as fast, right? So if it starts to go up again, well, why would it be any different? It wouldn't be. You're going to need to find sellers. Where right? You're going to just rip right through them. Where do we? There's the last stop where you say, oh, hey, wait a minute, Because these guys, right, this came out of here. Did you see? Do you understand it? Right, this came out of here so fast with so much imbalance here. There's likely to be orders up here that didn't get filled. Right, so you got that possibility. And then those that did catch it here that would have muscle, right, they're going to defend there. Where the bull's trying to get to, right here. Right, so you don't want to put your stop there. That's what they're after. Right, you want to say, hey, if I take it, if I get it here, great. If I don't, jab. You're not going to hurt me. I'm not going to go to 500x leverage. There's no need to do that. Maybe a little leverage here, right? Because your risk is so moderate. First target, come back to consolidation. Maybe there's a little bit of a pause there. But that would be your target, right? The last low. Pretty simple. No real Elliott required. Balance, imbalance. All right, guys, I think that covers it here. All right, so not bad for our first day. At least we got through it. I didn't have to snot into the mic too many times. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Do we have anything else, Monte Crypto? I know he's about a week ahead of me. He's been.
I don't think so. I'm not on my new machine, so I can't see this if you hadn't.
Oh, yeah. I know.
So
there's no live stream for you this week because you're hardware, but you think you're back next week?
Yeah. So,
okay. Okay, good.
Should be done today, but it's just not in my town.
Okay.
My brother.
Okay. All right. So any of you live streamer enthusiasts, Monte Crypto is very regular with his live stream, but he's got some hardware issues with something with his hard drive. So he'll be back next week. I'm going to be fully better by next week. And I'll be, what is today? Shit, I got Bitcoin Friday tomorrow. So I'll be pulling that off here. I had some requests about, it'll be not your typical Bitcoin Friday. Had some requests to talk about trend identification things. Well, I'll try and mix it up a little bit because Bitcoin hadn't done well. I mean, we did Bitcoin today, so not a lot to add. So I'll try and make it a little more educational tomorrow. And with that, I thank you guys for hanging out with us, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.